Hi, Mom.
Before I can even do the introduction, we've got Fuzz saying hi, Mom. All right, this is Wisely. I've got Fuzz and Frozen here, and we are going to go over Mewtwo and why Mewtwo is sick. So, first things first. You guys want to introduce yourselves? Let's start with Fuzz first.
Okay. I am Fuzz, sponsored by Smash United, member of Greensleeves, local crew down in Houston. I help run tournaments. We just did our PR, and I'm #1. That makes
Sick.
me happy.
Cool.
I like
All right.
board smash and long walks on the beach.
All right. How can people find you? We have your Twitter linked under your name. What streams are you usually on? Stuff like that.
The Houston streams are always going to be under hitbox.tv/HoustonPM.
Okay.
Dallas, Dallas depends. I don't think T-Lock streams PM. It's kind of
T-Lock
not
still
hit or miss,
streams
but it's kind of-
PM.
But I mean, like, I don't know if they're going to be streaming Don't Sleep on
Oh,
the circuit
yeah.
event,
Okay.
or if it's going to be like Arsenals or another group.
Okay.
But Austin, Houston, College Station, San Antonio, Dallas, we all have our own Facebook links. We all have our own hitboxes. It's actually kind of interesting how it's not segmented in a bad way, but like self-sufficient each city is.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. And finally, how do you start playing Mewtwo?
This is got to be one of my favorite stories. So, back in like 2014, like 3.0 had been out for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
My friend is getting really annoyed on the drive back from a tournament. He goes, "Man, what the hell? I went 0-2. I lost to a Mewtwo in winners. What does that character even do?" Fudge, you're learning Mewtwo, so I know what to do against this character now.
And the rest is history?
Right. Once you go from Falcon's recovery to Mewtwo's recovery, it's like heroin. You don't go back.
So you were a Falcon main at the time?
I was a very sad Falcon main, yes.
Okay, all right. All right, so basically it was you learned how to recover and your Falcon days were done.
I didn't have to hold in at all times. I could hold out for a little bit, then hold in, or up be past them. It was great. I haven't used Falcon in bracket in like 2 years. Sometimes I'll screw around with secondaries, like in round 1 or round 2, or against somebody that I'm trying to disrespect just for fun. But I don't really use secondaries against players I'm like when I get serious, except for like a week ago. Just once. It's very rare.
Mm-hmm. All right. Frozen, same questions. Name, tag, how are people going to find you, and how did you start playing Mewtwo?
All right, so my tag's Frozen. My crew is Free Saltines, or FS for short. We're one of the long-standing crews in New York City, along with things like DA. Why did I start playing Mewtwo? In 2.5, I used to be Lucario main until about 3.0. And in 2.5, I got this like dev build leak that had a really early version of Mewtwo on it. And this Mewtwo was like really, really dumb, but like really, really cool at the same time. So you could do a grounded teleport and then teleport again in the air afterward. So you could do 2 teleports. And I was like, why did they do this? And I'm like, this is so
you
cool.
clearly you mean dumb as in broken.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and he also weighed like 106, like Wario's weight. It was crazy. So,
So 3.0 Mewtwo was post-nerf.
Yes, he was nerfed from his original incarnation. Just let that one sit for a second. I vowed basically to myself that if he ever like actually came out and the clone engine became a success, which it did in the future, I would mate him. And in 3.0 was like the perfect time too, because I was getting really pissed off at certain matchups, like Lucario versus Mario in 3.0. Fireballs were mean. So I was like, I need a really good character to like deal with this, and Mewtwo was really fun, so I picked him up, and the rest is history.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And so you mentioned you're from New York City.
Right.
I guess you don't play at Nebulous all that often, so
I don't. Yeah, I was gonna mention that. There's the stream at hitbox.tv/nebulousnyc, I believe. But I'm usually not there anymore, as
Yeah.
most probably know at this point. I kind of inactive in PM, but I still love the game. I still play it whenever I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
walk
you're-
up and win big house.
Mhm.
Whatever.
I mean, and you're going super hard in like Smash 4, and you're making huge waves in that too.
Right.
So that's super cool to see, actually. Something like, okay, this was asked a lot by a few different people. The one that I'm going to specifically take it from the Reddit thread was from Darth Shard. He asked if you guys could go into difficult about picking up Mewtwo. So like you guys just said, like your first experiences playing Mewtwo was for Frozen, he was super broken. For Fuzz, he could get back to the stage.
So super broken, yes.
Yeah, so super broken. Do you think that Mewtwo is a difficult character to learn or master? So like the skill floor or the skill ceiling?
So, like, with Mewtwo's difficulty, it's really weird to gauge properly because I feel like he doesn't really play the standard Smash that every other character plays.
I definitely
Like his
agree.
movement, yeah, his movement is really awkward. He functions a lot of like wave dashes and not really off dash chances or like jumping in on people. It's more like using teleport in weird angles or like hovering at people, or like basically mixing people up with confusing movement options in order to land your hits.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say that he's one of the characters that you don't necessarily need. There's not like a skill floor to where you have to be so good until you can play him, but like a knowledge floor. Like,
Okay.
You have to know, what you can do out of hover, what you can do out of teleport, when you can attack and teleport, when you can snap to ledge, stuff like that, before you can really like try to get good with him. So you
A
can
lot of
learn
trial and
before you
error.
play.
Yeah, and I would agree. Anytime I've like gotten him an all-star random or things like that, it doesn't feel like I'm playing any of the other characters, and he's a lot harder for me to just pick up and see what can happen. No, definitely. What would you say his like typical gameplay, like game plan? What are you looking for when you're playing Mewtwo?
Probably just looking to contest neutral space until they get annoyed, and then go out of hover cancel up air range. Because it's hard to bait that because there's so little lag, and then that puts them in really good forward smash range. And if they're trying to get out of that, no, I'm not trying. I'm not memeing. Like there's something you can do. Like they're not out of every range yet, and then if they back up further, suddenly teleport becomes this really good option, where they have no significant options for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Right.
this,
So,
like,
you can go.
disjointed zone.
Mhm.
Disjointed zoning. Okay, it's a good way
Yeah.
to sum that up.
There's a threat range where Mewtwo is basically potent at almost every range on stage. You can, if they're very close up, you have your hover cancel options, which function kind of like Melee Peach, where they're plus on block, they're really good, do a lot of damage and combo into a lot of moves. At like mid range, you have teleport instead, which if people begin to fear teleport too much, that's when you can move in with the quick wave dash or one of your movement options and beat them up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, people are always scared when they're fighting Mewtwo, I feel.
Just no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Okay. And
It's not even something like matchup experience can solve, I think. It's just like you never know when they're going to strike as long as their habits aren't too obvious.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, because teleport's just on the cusp of being reactable.
Mhm.
If you're looking for it and not doing anything else, you can definitely react to it. But otherwise, you have to kind of go like, "Oh, he teleported," and then do something really fast. And most people aren't very good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. What do you think is like the most satisfying thing to do with Mewtwo? Like, what is like if you could only hit one combo the rest of your life? What's that going to be? Or like maybe it's just like you love just moving around the stage.
In terms of what combo, I feel like the one thing I've like popularized was hover nair to grab. I've never like had so much fun doing a aerial setup into a grab that also doubles as your kill option because up throw is really good and kills almost the entire cast or just combos fastballers.
Yep. I actually noted
I
that
think-
in the Professor Pro video that we're going to watch later because you got it on him a lot.
Yeah. I feel like when people look at that combo, it's like, oh, that's the Frozen thing.
Okay.
There's only one thing that I could do with Mewtwo for the rest of my life and still be good at: reverse up air to forward smash. It's actually close to a true combo. It's not a joke. It's not Jabdakis. And because the up air hits so late and then hover cancels, you don't have traditional landing lag. So most people aren't going to immediately jump after they get clipped by an up air.
Mm-hmm. Now, actually going to a joke, why did every single person tell me to ask you about forward smash?
Oh boy.
Because no. Because I love Mewtwo's forward smash. Like, okay, I will tell you when I start joking.
Okay.
I think Mewtwo's forward smash is fantastic. I think it really gives him, at least with the range it is, which is too far, admittedly.
It has insane disjoint.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
I think
Please
the
don't-
day that I realized that is I think I was playing as Toon Link, and I whiffed a tethered grab and somehow still got forward smashed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sounds about right.
Like, it. I mean, it beats out Marth's, but like because disjoint, but it also beats it out in distance. It goes at least as far as Marth's. Like you could be under the platform, like, and Marth wouldn't be able to like grab you, and you can just forward smash him. It's so strong too.
It's one of the farthest reaching normals in the game. Does 20% too. The only really problem with it is that it has a dead zone, so you don't want to use it when people are close, but you don't really have to. You have all these other moves like down tilt and forward air and all this other stuff you could use at that range.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's just this really nice tool that it almost feels like a Street Fighter move, where it's just like some heavy like counter poke you can just throw out, and at least for characters with low short hops, there's not really an easy answer to it aside from just like playing the spacing footsie game.
Yeah. It's safe on shield too. Like if you don't perfect shield that, they're not really going to punish it if you get the sweet spot.
I've been punished one time in my life for sweet spot forward smash. No, that's it. It's so hard to punish. So yeah, that's.
And that was all not joking.
Yeah, that was not joking.
Okay.
Whenever I talk about forward smash, I usually take it too far just for fun. Like I say that forward smash wins Mewtwo the neutral. I say that it is the best move he has, including telehover and air. That it kills at 30. It's like I do the punch thing, but with forward smash.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because it's more fun to be like that.
Yeah.
Ollie Houston thinks I'm crazy for it. Houston has started forward smashing. In the last 2 years, I have seen so many more forward smashes from every character. It makes me so happy. It's my city.
So Mewtwo's forward smash has inspired them all to forward smash no matter what character it is?
Yes, it actually has. I'm not even joking.
It's
A lot of good forward smash in this game too.
It's not just the characters with the good ones, though. Like, the last time I played with a Sonic guy in town, he tried to forward smash me, like, not like up close, but at the tip, like 3 times, and it's just like, dude, you're not gonna win the forward smash contest.
Doesn't mean you can't try.
Yeah, he can try all he wants. I'm not gonna stop him.
When you guys are playing, what kind of like mix-up in mind games are you specifically looking for? Especially like character-specific ones, not just like, well, I wait for him to approach and I wave dash back.
Fuzz, I'll let you start with this one.
There we go. Sorry about that. I'm muting when I'm chewing. And
Oh.
say, what are the universal things I try to do? And this is kind of leading back into forward smash. I'm trying to manipulate my opponents and my spacing to get. For me, that's one of my favorite spots right where forward smash will connect if they hit a button. Because that's where I feel most comfortable.
Okay.
I have a burst movement option that is better than theirs because Mewtwo has, off the top of my head, the best burst movement option at that range. So like I like occupying that space and just forcing them to do something.
Mm. So it's less of a mix-up and more of just really ways to threaten space really well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I kind of got off topic. The mix-ups would be like, oh, do I wave dash in down tilt, or do I like hover, space a little bit, or do I just forward smash? And if you hit a button to try to beat the other ones, well, you just got hit in the face with a forward smash, or do I teleport past you into an aerial into about the same spacing after it lands, etc.
Okay.
So, when I play neutral in any Smash game, I think, or even any fighting game, I like to press a lot of buttons. So, my goal is to use a kind of defense as offense strategy and use as many hitboxes as I possibly can, like in almost Peach sort of way, but with Marth's sword range. So it's really frustrating people try to get in on that, especially when Mewtwo's crouch cancel is also so potent. So even if you do manage to get through all these like hover cancel up airs and down tilts, I can just crouch cancel it and either grab you or down tilting or side beating or doing something that will probably put you in a really bad spot, and then I kill you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
As a side note,
pretty
your Peach with Marth's range sounds terrifying, so I
It
suppose
is.
that's a really
With
good
a teleport,
strategy.
too.
Our down smash is worse. I'll concede down
Yes.
smash.
Yeah, that's the one move I wish I had, but Mewtwo's down smash isn't too bad either.
I mean, it's the best edge guard tool in the game.
But it's not
So
Peach's
if you
down
saw my
smash.
sets, that's unfortunately.
All right,
Only
well,
grabbing the ledge wasn't so good.
I know, right? Come on, come on. Why didn't you fix ledges, Jake? Come on, just don't grab ledges.
Whoops.
Dude, Mewtwo down smash in rivals would actually be broken.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yep.
Like you can tech it, but it doesn't matter. You're at 3,000% by the time you're on stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that sounds terrifying to me.
I also
Alright.
want to point something out real quick. Just, Jake, you were saying like your goal is to push a lot of buttons. I have like the
Yeah.
exact opposite goal. Push as few
Yeah.
buttons as I need.
I've always noticed that when I was watching other Mewtwo players, and I was like, wow, we play really different. Like almost completely different goals. But I think that's like kind of the beauty of the character almost. So like you have a lot of ways to play him. You don't have to like
Yeah.
get yourself to play one style in particular. There's a lot of like routes you can choose.
Right. Fluidity is super, super nice in a character.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many characters that do seem like there's one gameplay style that fits them a lot more. So something where you can just switch in and out is awesome, actually. All right, we are going to start in with the first set. Now, keeping in mind, I don't play Mewtwo, so if there's something I've completely missed, like I didn't note, tell me to stop, tell me to go back, whatever.
Yeah,
Be like,
that's what we're
no,
here
no, this thing was super cool. We're going to watch that again. I can put things into half speed, like whatever. And yeah, so let's go. This is from Cashed Out, which for anybody not in the know was a PM Invitational at Genesis 4. Or not at Genesis 4.
Well, right across the street.
Conveniently in the same city at the same time as Genesis 4. Um,
Small world, right?
with many of the same players in some weird coincidence. But this was you versus Sosa, who is now ranked
Right.
3rd in the world. So let's go into this. Oh, Frozen. I don't remember.
Yes.
What is your rank? I know you're on the 50.
I'm actually not on the New York PR anymore because I'm considered inactive, but on PM rank 2016, I'm number 13.
13. Okay.
Yes.
I knew you were in like top 20. I couldn't remember where. Cool. Well, let's go.
So initially, my stage striking process is I usually ban Green Hill Zone first because it generally tends to be one of Mewtwo's worst stages because
Oh.
it's a really high ceiling and
And
you
you
don't have to
want to
pause
kill off
everything.
the top.
Yeah, I want to kill the top, and I want to
Yeah.
live long. And the sides on Green Hill Zone are small, so they don't let me do that very well. The stage is also small enough to where teleport kind of just takes you across the entire stage, and you don't really have many spaces to go with it. So
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So instead, I go for the stage's antithesis or antithesis. I can't say that word, but PS2, where the blast zone on the top is really small and the stage is really big.
So, what would you say PS2 is definitely Mewtwo's best stage then?
It's one of them for sure. It depends on the matchup sometimes, but I'd say either you go to like PS2 or Battlefield a lot of the time.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
against. Sorry.
it's okay. Like against Fox, he kills off the top before we will for the most part.
Mhm.
So like the ceiling is kind of annoying.
Yeah, against characters that can kill you off the top better than they can do it, better than you can do to them, then you want to try to stay away from PS2, especially if they're good dash dancers. Falcon's another one where you might want to avoid this stage. So as you can see, at 112% of Wario,
the
that
hell?
up throw kills.
Why did that kill so early?
Wario is floaty. That brings me to one of my aspects that I love about this character is that your like survivability, like when it comes to recovery and weight, really doesn't matter to Mewtwo. Is if you're a floaty, you're dying to up throw. It doesn't matter what your weight is.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that for throws were weight independent, or at least up throws were weight independent. And so
That's
fast.
about animation.
That's just for the animation. Okay.
Yeah, when it comes to knockback from throws, only your fall speed matters.
Yeah. Okay. That is what I thought. Yep. So
Technically,
like,
your weight matters, but it's extremely minor.
yep. Your if you are a fast faller or a floaty matters, but like throwing Bowser wouldn't.
Yeah, throwing Bowser would kill you at a pretty normal percent. But like
Yeah.
throwing like Falcon or someone would take forever to kill, and you really shouldn't kill them with up throw because you have back throw.
Yeah. Well, and as we discussed earlier, Falcon has a hard time getting back to the stage, and you have a giant tail.
Yeah, same goes for the other fast fallers. So it almost kind of works out. It's like the characters that you can't kill with up throw are the ones you can gimp off stage. So
Isn't that convenient?
yeah.
I wonder if that was
I
intentional.
wonder if someone designed this character.
Whoops. I joke about that all the time, by the way. I didn't actually design the original concept of Mewtwo. I just
Yeah.
kind of worked on balance changes past 3.0.
To be fair, when
But
I when I invited you on here, I completely forgot you were involved with that. So
Yeah, PMDT is kind of like a lost relic by now.
yep.
There's
Product of
the
days
other
gone
one I
by.
was gonna kill.
That's upsetting.
Yeah.
I play this character, and that's upsetting.
No one is ever happy when they get up thrown. That's just the truth of it.
I mean, when you kill Falcon, like Falcons at 180 without throw, like they have a fun time because they already know it's too late. It's their time.
So 0% against characters like Wario is kind of like this one area where Mewtwo might struggle a bit in because a lot of his launchers can be crouch canceled at a really low percent, and that's when characters like Wario can kind of get in and do their own little combo string, or whatever, and take stage control. So my goal here is to either get Wario in the air so I can hit him without the fear of crouch canceling, or I try to go for some kind of grab or side beat because you can't crouch cancel grabs. So
Yeah, I mean, how
once you
broken
hit
would
the
it be?
round, yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Once you hit this percent again, you want to start looking for up throws. But again, you don't really have to up throw in particular. You still have a few other KO options. You have forward smash, like we mentioned before. You have hover cancel forward air. You have down air, which can convert into forward air off a teleport. Or you can just edge guard them. And Mewtwo's back air is really good, so you can just edge guard almost anyone in the entire game, as long as their recovery isn't really, really good. And even then, like, if you read them well, you can still get the stock pretty early. This stock I kind of bodied.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Oh, 68.
Yeah,
So
that's
Not
hard.
even that 1 extra percent to make it important.
I forgot how to DI for a moment, because Smash 4 DI is a lot different.
Now, so
There's
you
one
mentioned that certain floaties with the launcher percentage, or with the way that launchers work, it's a little bit harder. What characters does Mewtwo prefer to play against? Like, what would your favorite matchup be? And maybe it's not even like what characters are
I'd say
good
my
that are
favorite-
fun.
Yeah, I'd say characters that are fun for me to fight are characters that don't really have a whole lot of range. Like, they can have projectiles or whatever, but as long as their limbs are stubby and they're not very fast, then you can kind of just hit a lot of buttons on them, like I said before, and you can just kind of go to town and space safely, and they can't really retaliate that well.
And in the same vein, like, what characters does Mewtwo not want to find in a bracket?
Probably characters that have a really good projectile zoning game that isn't super punishable by teleport. So Toon Link is the one that gets brought up a lot because he's really fast and is able to circle camp you in a way that teleport isn't always the best way to approach him. And he also has really potent combos on floaties.
The more I do this show, the more I wonder if I should work on my Toon Link again. That's been a common thread so far. Is like, oh, we don't want to hit Toon Link.
Yeah, you covered a lot of floaties recently, right? Like Game & Watch.
Yeah,
after the
Game
last
&
episode.
Watch,
Squirtle and Wolf.
Squirtle.
Yeah, so Toon Link is a really good floaty counter, I'd say.
Oh, okay. I do want to mention here. I mean, it's pretty obvious. There's your wall of
Yeah.
pain.
He jumped. He jumped
I
into
almost-
it.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's always really scary though because people don't want to get hit by the back air, so they think that jumping is okay. But back air is a really big move, and if you jump, it will probably get caught anyway. Your best option in this scenario, if you're fighting against the Mewtwo, is actually to try to SDI down. Because most Mewtwo's will try to like rise up with you because back air sends at like a diagonal angle almost.
And because everyone's
So
trying to
if you-
jump out of a combo. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you start SDIing down, not necessarily away sometimes, because that might just kill you with back air alone. But if you SDI down, you might be able to get out of the string. It's not necessarily guaranteed if you've been doing it a lot, but It's an option you have.
That's so unintuitive. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Like
And I think that's what gets a lot of people.
definitely.
Yeah, I've seen people like familiar with the matchup that have done it to me before, and I was like, wow, I didn't get my wall of pain. I'm sad.
I thought this was going to be the stock. All right, right here. Boom. Easy.
Yeah, down air.
That down air to regrab looked super sick, even though it was just 2 moves.
It's actually almost the exact same stats as Falcon's down air, I believe.
Oh, wait, really? Okay.
Yeah. So you can use it in kind of a similar way, except Mewtwo doesn't have like that Falcon air speed, so you can't do like down throw check chase to down air. Like you can if they check roll in, but if they check roll out, you have to like commit to teleport or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or Shadow Ball. So one of the things I like about Shadow Ball in particular, I don't think I showcased it that much in this set though, was where the weak ones are actually, I think, almost as usable as the strongest version.
You do that once in the next game.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think so.
Yeah, so weak Shadow Balls can reset people, and you can also use it to like create sort of tech traps where you throw the Shadow Ball and it forces them to pick an option really quickly, and then you can kind of
Oh,
look
never
for
mind.
that panic option.
That was in the Emu Killer set that we... Maybe I'll pull
Right.
that up later. You kill Emu at, like, on Green Hill Zone. He goes off, and you just drop down with, like, a half-charged Shadow Ball and hit him, and it kills him at, like, 50%.
Oh yeah, no one's ever ready for that one. I'm actually considering myself not very good at using the fully charged Shadow Ball. Stereo always yells at me for it.
The trick is you just charge it in neutral, they walk up and shield, and then you let it go.
Yeah.
Then they feel stupid and they just go on tilt. It's great.
Exactly. My usual plan actually with fully charged Shadow Ball is that I know this is why some people yell at me for using it this way, because it doesn't actually work that much and I should stop doing it, but I like getting people to like 25 to 30%, which is when you can't really crouch cancel forward air or some of his combo starters anymore. So I usually use it at a really low percent, such that it like gets them, because it does a lot of damage. Shadow Ball. It does like 25 when it's fully charged. So
Okay.
you hit them once with that, and then suddenly like they can't really crouch cancel your starters anymore, and that's when you get to
Oh,
press
so
all of
you
it.
use it early instead of as a killing option.
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
If I have someone in a combo and I realize I have the full charge Shadow Ball still, I'll try to use it there. But yeah, I'd say that's one of my weirder aspects of how I play the character.
Another way you can use it is to push characters off stage. Just force them to ledge by shielding it.
I just realized we missed one thing that I want to go back to.
Double thing.
We should go back to that one too.
Okay, let's just go back to that one instead.
So I forgot it was down air hit with her forward air originally.
Is it
but,
right here?
Here's fair.
It was fair? Okay.
Right. It's right about
Oh, yeah,
here.
so that killed at
Frame.
82 from the ground. On Wario, on battlefields. That's not a percent where you usually see Wario die. Fair is really strong, and because of how useful teleport is when it comes to extending off of it, and off a grounded teleport, you could double jump out of it. So you can go really high distances and convert into kills like that.
We have that instant replay.
I just float in air there because I didn't really know what he's going to throw out, and I figure Wario's kind of stubby, so if he throws out a hitbox, it might just trade with this nair instead. And if he respects it too hard, then it's like I can just land with fair or something safe on shield.
Mm-hmm. No, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, you notice at the beginning of that stock, I did a double back air, and he crouch cancels it and hit me for it, and that's the thing I was referring to before. How that beginning percent, I figure this happens to a lot of characters because crouch canceling is just really good. But I almost kind of characterize it as a Mewtwo weakness because it doesn't really have that many to begin with.
Oh, well, okay. So going into that, if you don't think Mewtwo has a ton of weaknesses, do you definitely think he's a top tier then?
Yes.
All right.
There's one actually I didn't go over. Mewtwo, that one probably definitive weakness Mewtwo has is that his out of shield options are kind of lackluster. So if you're a character that's like has a lot of really fast moves and can pressure shields well, his fastest out of shields option is like frame 9 up smash, like not counting grab because shield grab sucks. Like no one does that. Shh. Yeah. So.
Yeah,
The
frame 9
best-
up
yeah.
smash, frame
And-
10 air.
Yeah, and up smash like kind of sucks. Like you don't really see people use it that much. Like you'll still see me use it sometimes because it's like one of our best out of shield options. But yeah, you can SDI.
Very
it pretty
character
easily.
specific.
Yes.
And even then, with SDI, it's very inconsistent.
Hmm. Yeah, I've seen people just like clean escape that move like halfway through, and I was like, aw. I wish I was Zelda right now.
Zelda, who can not only do one up smash but two.
So this is how Link feels.
Yeah, exactly. A Link or like Pit or someone.
So where would you put Mewtwo on a tier list then? Like, when you're saying you think he's good, are you saying like top 10, top 5, top 1?
Definitely top 10. Probably a good candidate for top 5. I don't think he's top 1 because I feel like there are a lot of really good characters in this game.
I would have been a little surprised if you'd gone with that one.
Yeah, people will definitely give me weird looks for that. Although a lot of the Mewtwo Discord sometimes like to meme about how like we're the best character in the game.
I actually hold the belief that Mewtwo is good enough. Like, yeah, I think he's top 3.
Jeez, the game.
And I think that he's good enough to where the differences are minor. Like, he's like the tier where character is like the 1% of like the reason you may have won or lost.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't lose anything hard enough. What's up?
You don't have to blame it. You're like you can blame your loss on yourself rather than the character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, forward smash, yeah.
He got one.
Like, hey, you missed that tech. And that was the tech roll read. That was pretty sick. And it didn't kill, and I'm really pissed at myself for that because I'm usually pretty good with knowing my up throw kill percent, so yeah. And this is the part where Sosa's getting scary because I'm pretty sure he has a waft now, or like a half waft, and then I slide off the platform and fair. That was totally intentional, by the way. It wasn't.
What?
Don't listen to him.
I'm pretty honest with how I commentate myself.
Everything you do is intentional, Jake.
Right.
Everything, everyone who ever has won has done is intentional.
I forgot what exactly I tried to do there, but I did like a panic roll and then I fell off the ledge with fair. I don't even know what happened. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm pretty good.
All right.
This is my big house set with Prof.
Yes, and so spoiler alert. This says losers quarters at the top. You go on to win the entire tournament.
Yes. So before this set, Anther like brutally 3-0s me. Like I stumped on the Pikachu matchup at that point. I was like, I have no idea what he's doing. He's up smashing me at 50. I'm getting really mad because I shouldn't be dying this early. How do I edge guard Pikachu, etc., etc. And I wasn't really tilted because I knew going into the set that I'm up on every Snake in this. I'd never lost to Snake since 3.0, I think. So I'm pretty confident going into this set because I think Mewtwo beats Snake pretty hard. It might be one of his worst matchups.
Also, you get some crazy corner pressure here.
Right, yeah. I feel like, yeah, that's pretty crazy. If only Snake had an okay recovery.
But anyway,
Yeah,
so you think this is one of Snake's losing matchups?
Yes.
Okay.
Because what Snake usually prides himself on is being able to like kind of space at a safe range and throw like projectiles at you and live a long time. But the thing is, like up throw kind of just invalidates that completely. Like Snake doesn't have to like live forever because you grab him at 125 and he's just dead. And I die at 195 there because I'm really bad at checking. So when it comes to the Snake matchup, I feel like if you can pressure his shields from far enough away, which Mewtwo can because his moves are big. Wow, that was sick pressure.
Yeah, no, that actually was sick.
Yeah.
I want to go back and look at that.
I just want to see what kind of moves I put in there. But there's like a range where you can space on Snake's shield pretty safely, even if he has a grenade in hand. Mm-hmm. So it really makes them think harder. And really, if you space at that range, Snake doesn't really have anything to hit you with because up B doesn't really have the best range.
Right, and his down air out of shield, which is okay, doesn't have much range either.
Exactly. It's not like he's gonna like forward air you out of shield. Like that move's it's too slow.
Here it is, I think.
I think so. Right now, I hit him with the up air starter, which combos into down tilt and then jab, hover cancel forward air, another forward air, and then up airs. I really want to disable after this, but I didn't get the right up air hitbox.
Plus, I think he DI'd away also.
Right. Yeah. So it was good DI on his part.
Never before seen.
A lot of people get scared and DI in, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Like if the move won't kill you, I think you should DI out.
And that's just general for all of Mewtwo stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
So here I got the really sick Nair to grab, yeah. So that was really dirty because that platform is so small, and that Nair pretty much covered every option. The only thing I had to recognize was which direction you ended up in after Nair. It's basically a 50-50.
That
More
we can
shield
control
pressure.
using our hover
Yes,
while
exactly.
Nair's hitting. It's a good
So what I
time.
usually try to do with that to try to influence it a lot, as long as you're not like SDIing really hard, and then if you drift back with Mewtwo's Nair, you can usually get the grab afterward by just standing still and grabbing. That's confusion back air. I might have been able to go for forward air there, but I didn't want to risk it.
Mm-hmm.
This might happen again. Oh, I didn't go for it that time.
Yep.
Yeah, you can. Mewtwo's grab is also really good, and it can grab Crouching Snake and Crouching Puff, I think, too. Or
Really?
whatever.
That's so odd that it can grab Crouching Puff, but has problems grabbing Squirtle. Makes me sad.
Squirtle is really tiny, yeah. It needs to be your dash grab, though. That's the dynamic behind it. Sometimes you don't want to jump cancel your grab.
Okay,
even though it's
this
faster.
entire combo is sick. I'm gonna note it again in slow motion
Oh,
because
I got the edge, too. I'm so good.
You went to ledge. That's cheating.
Yeah. Just grab the ledge.
No, I noticed this before and I was like, wow, this was super cool.
Yeah, this was super clean.
Not is it a 0 to death? I
I
don't think so.
I don't.
Not
think
quite.
so.
You
It might
get hit
be
by
a-
the mine there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You run into a few things.
Okay,
but
there we go. I reflect that. Use a downer because I see him crouching and I'm like, you can't crouch cancel this. And I get the Nair grab. That was actually really good spacing to like barely float above the ground there and then grab him. And I was like, all right, this downer goes through up B. And grab ledge, and I don't think I think he had a C4 on stage still, so he couldn't use it to recover.
He also might have been afraid of sticking the side of the stage.
Right? Yeah, that might have happened, or sticking me, which would be worse.
Now, something. So you guys, we've been talking about a lot of like the specific times where you can get like teleport near regrab stuff like that. Do you think?
Mhm.
I know I've seen you do that. Is that something a lot of other Mewtwo's are yet to get to?
You actually can't teleport into a Nair grab anymore since the 3.5 drops because you can't hover out of a teleport anymore. So it's
Oh,
kind of like
yeah,
this
yeah.
dynamic where you can only choose one per air state.
Mm-hmm.
You have to either choose hover or you choose your teleport.
Yep.
And
Sorry,
yeah.
I just worded it wrong.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that Nair to grab is something that other Mewtwo's. Usually when I watch Mewtwo's, I don't really see them get this a whole lot. I've definitely seen some try, and sometimes they succeed, but not to the level of consistency that I have. I'm not knocking any Mewtwo mates, by the way. So you
Yeah,
guys are all
that's-
good in your own way.
I think that's accurate.
Mhm.
Now, what tech do you think that Mewtwo's in general just need to start working on, or like, what do you think might be the future of Mewtwo? This is for both of you guys.
Mhm.
Fuzz is laughing. Is it forward smash?
No, it's not I have more humor in my bag than forward smash. Come on. 18-degree teleports.
I don't know what that means.
Because
Please let us know.
So 18 degrees is the smallest angle that you can get in PM. And it's like the optimal wave dash angle. But it lets us auto-cancel teleport, which is where we land on stage actionable if we haven't used our double jump. It lets us do that from like frame 3 of a short hop or some shenanigan that makes it like this weird, awkward three-way mix-up just from for like short hopping or full hopping at like teleport distance.
Yeah, usually the trick with Mewtwo's teleport is that when he wants to act out of it, he has to appear in the air, or else he lands with almost 30 frames of landing lag. Like you basically cannot teleport into the ground. But if you space your teleport such that you're about a frame or two above the ground, you land instantly with no landing lag, and you could do grounded options or grabs out of your teleport instead.
You have 5
Which is
frames, but it's super
Something
tiny.
like that, yeah. And basically, how that like makes him really good is that you're not really supposed to be able to grab out of your teleport.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, also response is supposed to be to shield, but this can kind of circumvent that, and it adds another layer of like mind games. And man, I'm getting rocked this match. Like,
Yeah, I was
Green Hill
actually.
Zone, as you can see. Yeah,
I actually
get
was
pretty
thinking
rough
about
sometimes.
skipping forward to just straight to the next game because I think he 3 stocks you here,
hmm
or it's close.
Prof is pretty good this game.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little.
It's just kind of good.
Shame you had to run into me though.
Yeah, it's like in grands of this tournament. You
Yeah,
were
I had
against
to
the
avenge
ice
Switch.
climbers and pit
Oh.
player, and it's just like, poor guy.
Yeah.
You're like
So-
the only man in the world who knows that both of those matchups at the same time.
I play Ice Climbers, and I was actually there that day, and I was so sad. Not that, like, didn't want you to win, but I was like, really, out of anything for it to happen in Grands, it had to be Mewtwo Ices.
At 4 in the morning, no less.
I guess I think Mewtwo destroys Ices, possibly
He
even
does.
more than Peach.
Yeah, that's
If not, like,
that's
it's about
accurate.
the same.
Nair's pretty good.
Oh
Nair's
yeah,
pretty good.
it's basically like aerial down smash.
Yeah, so right there, I actually want to point out the punish I did on Snake there, which I feel like more people could use.
Okay, I'll go back.
like a few seconds. So you can notice the mine is there when I grab him, and I down throw there. And usually the response to down throw is just DI out, and you don't get any follow-up, but the mine was there, so Prof didn't want to DI into that. So I knew that ahead of time, and I knew that I can get a follow-up off my down throw now, because he doesn't want to DI into the mine and die.
Right.
So instead I go for instant forward air. And then I still lose the first stock because I'm terrible. And sometimes Snake just kills you. It happens. And there we go, grabbing. Because
Yep.
crouch again.
I feel like Prof hasn't realized at this point that crouching under your grab isn't consistent.
Yeah,
He's like still trying it.
again, that's a thing where so Snake's shield options, like, from a decent range are kind of weak, so I drift out when I'm nearing his shield so that he can't punish me afterward. Now
that
they're
was
sick Ledgehog. That's another really hype thing Mewtwo can do, actually, is that he's one of the few characters that can, like, instantly snap to ledge from the stage without having to, like, raw wave dash. I think, like, Pikachu is one of the other characters that can do it. But it allows you to get to ledge really fast and forces people to, like, recover in really awkward ways sometimes.
Yep, they either recover in an awkward way or they just don't adapt and you keep snagging it.
Because if they're dead set on getting a ledge and you just snipe it at the last second, they just die, and they get pretty upset whenever that happens. They'll probably call you lame or something, but
Now,
Hey, we
now
love
what would
when
it,
people
is that up there in like things people get salty about when they're playing against a Mewtwo?
I would say that the fact that he's kind of heavy and floaty, so he can be difficult to combo, and he's hard to juggle. Like, when you hit Mewtwo, you don't really feel like you're properly rewarded a lot of the time, because he usually hits you a lot harder than you'd hit him.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Mm-hmm. And
Makes
of
sense.
course, the Wall of Pain is always annoying.
hmm
Good old Wall of Pain.
Mm-hmm. Getting Nairs on shield. As long as you space those Nairs properly, they cannot do anything about that.
So
It just free
if
sure.
you're good at it, it's super safe.
Mm-hmm. You don't even have to be that good at it, honestly. You just kind of drift out.
if you're okay at it, it's super
Yeah,
safe.
pretty much.
If you can hold backwards after you nair, not before, then you're good.
Exactly.
Oh wow, that's even easier.
Oh, and I'm bad. Like, I gotta air dodge. It's Smash 4, right? And then I was like, wait a second. Both of these, for reference, like, both of these events happen, like, only a little bit after my Smash 4 bracket at Major, so that's why sometimes I have to shake off the rest a little bit.
hmm
That's why I just, like, randomly air dodge there.
Shoot, I have enough problems switching from melee to PM or vice versa, or like if I've been playing a lot of rivals recently.
Mm. I don't really want to go on a tangent or anything, but, like, I actually kind of feel like it's easier for me to switch from Smash 4 and PM than PM to Melee or vice versa. Because, like, I feel like Melee and PM are so similar sometimes that the minute differences can kind of frustrate me.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, like it's harder, like a 2D fighting game. It's easier to switch between Guilty Gear and Street Fighter than Guilty Gear and BlazBlue because they're so different.
Yes,
hmm
that's what I'm talking about. I think I agree to go. I don't want to take Snake to Dreamland because Snake lives too long on that stage, even with up throw. And that's the one part of Dreamland that's kind of iffy with Mewtwo, because otherwise it'd probably be his best stage. The tri-plats are great. The stage is really big, a lot of room to recover.
Mhm.
You'll live forever.
But it's
But the
such a
top
big
black
ceiling.
bone is so huge. Yeah, like, you can't up throw kill Wolf at like 200 on that stage. Like, it won't work.
I think that's actually how my set with DF ended. Like the first set, it was actually I think an up throw at like 190 or fair at 190 or
Yeah.
some like ridiculous thing.
Like even super floaties will only die at like 135 or like 140 on that stage, and it removes one of your most potent kill options, I think. So if you're fighting like a floaty character that lives a while, like Snake isn't really floaty, but like Zelda or Peach or Puff, etc., you don't want to take them to Dreamland.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you find, like, with having a kill throw that is so potent, what are some of the different ways you tend to use to set up into it? I know you go for a lot of the nair.
So Nair grab is one that works. You also have a command grab. So if people are shielding on a platform, they usually think they're safe because you can only really hit them with aerials. You're not going to like land with a grab because tomahawking with Mewtwo can be kind of slow. But your side B can grab people when you're in the air, and then that can convert into kill options. I'm so good that I read that trank again. So what was I talking about before? I kind of got lost. What were we talking about again?
Different ways to convert into kill throws, or I guess just kills in general.
Right. So basically, it's not really a combo that you use to combo into your grab a lot of the time, even though Nair grab's really good. A lot of the times, people are scared of your other kill options. So forward smash, of course, always threatening, always exists. Forward air, down tilt can also convert into your kill move. So people are always looking for like different ways they can die, and sometimes they forget that if they shield too long, you can just grab them.
That's
So-
super true.
The opposite also applies there. If they're not shielding enough, then you just hit them with your hitboxes because they're not blocking anymore, and then you'll probably snag a kill that way. That's probably one of the greatest parts about Mewtwo is that you never really struggle to kill people, unless
So
you're me
it's-
and Smash now.
and you let Snake get to 151.
Exactly.
So if you're looking for a character that, like, you're having trouble converting to the kills with somebody else, try picking up Mewtwo.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah. If you like a unique way of moving around the stage and really destructive combos and killing people whenever, then Mewtwo's probably your character.
And getting back to stage almost unconditionally. It's so
Oh yeah, and your recovery's broken. Like, no one's gonna edgeguard you unless you get hit out of teleport, which doesn't happen too often. It does happen sometimes if you get predictable, but like usually you'll have your jump, so you'll live.
Yeah, it's the floaty thing where it's like, okay, that's fine. You know, I messed up and like did something wrong.
Yeah.
That's why I got hit.
It's
not
always
Falcon,
your
where
fault
you just-
you get edgeguarded when
You
see
just
it.
pray and hold in, like please.
I'm okay with that. We don't need Falcon with a good recovery. I'm a disabled fiend, by the way. I don't know if some people know that, but that's probably one of my favorite moves actually about this character. It's not the problem is though, it's not actually that good. It's just very stylish, and you can use a taunt with it to like play a special voice clip.
Oh, I forgot
The best
about
voice
that, yeah.
clip from
Which voice clip
Garbled-
is it again?
2001 Japanese. It's from Melee. He says Ordo Kana
Which means foolish.
in super garbly. Yeah, it just means foolish in super garbly Japanese.
All right, Prof is sick. I just gotta acknowledge that right now. He just 0 to death me.
That was pretty clean.
Yeah. I think he got the sticky to sticky combo there, and I was like, all right, you got me. I'm really pissed he didn't die to that back air. Like, man, Snake is so fat. Mewtwo's roll also, I think I used it there a few seconds ago. It's really long and not like any other character's roll because it has a little more end lag, but the distance it covers is huge.
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can cross stages with it. I think Prof ends up winning this game. Yeah, it goes to game five.
Yeah, I
Right.
think it does go to game 5.
Mhm.
We can just continue then.
I mean, I want to see how he wins anyway. It's only the last talk. I'm pretty sure I die pretty quickly anyway, so. Sometimes it's best to analyze like what ways you died in a set, so you can try not to do those again.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
Yeah. And now it's like, all right, I'm losing too much stage control, but I get the back airs and I flood my back airs because of that.
Oh,
Yeah. But I still keep the pressure going, so I was like, all right, I can still do this. And I keep Snake off stage as best as I can, but the trade with the grenade, and I acknowledge I'm bad for that, because if you're good with your spacing, you can actually hit Snake without hitting the grenade.
Really?
And then I roll into a mine.
Yeah.
just like real war.
I'm like, man, I'm doing so good, I can just grab him now, and then, oh. I forgot that.
Forgot about the mine.
Yeah. That's one of those things about Snake is like sometimes like you gotta remember all those things on the stage, and that's when Snake hits you with something when you're looking for his other like minefield.
Mm-hmm. And he is a trap-based character.
Yes. So if you're in the air, Trank doesn't do anything to you, so you can just float above it. Floating is really good in its matchup in general because it makes your aerials really safe because of how float canceling works. So for those who don't know how that works,
Yeah,
if
no,
you're not
please go through that.
So if you're floating with Mewtwo, which by the way, the input for that is you hold down while jumping, and then you go into the state where you can move in any direction in the air for about a second. With this, like it's fairly slow, but you can move in any direction and you're not falling. And when you do an aerial in this state, and then you cancel your float as you're doing the aerial and you land, you won't have the move's landing lag. You'll just go into an empty landing state of 5 frames.
It's a lot like Peaches.
Yeah, and what that does for you is that it makes your aerials some of the few that are plus on block in this game. So you can perform a lot of really dirty shield strings that a lot of other characters can't do.
I can't even tell what you traded with there.
I think it was Snake's up air. It's really strong.
It was Snake's up tilt.
Oh, up tilt. Okay, that is also very strong.
Yeah, no, they're both good moves.
Yeah, not quite brawl up tilt, and I chase him really high here. Mewtwo can do that. You can go really high in air with forward airs and stuff. And this is where I shoot the Shadow Ball at 0 again, and he just shields it, and I'm like, man, I'm so bad. That's all I really can say about it. Like when I'm losing a set is like, man, it's not really me that just it's not really the character that's like messing up. It's just like I need to take better options. And that happened again where I down threw and he had the mine over there, so he didn't want to DI into it. So I instantly nair it because I know he's gonna DI in that direction. And when they DI bad for down throw, you can get follow-ups off it. For those, or there's a wall of pain. I always seem to get at least one of those a set.
Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting that you've like you're right. Every time you've had lost a stock in you go, oh, I am bad. That's something I should have worked on. Whereas a lot of characters, sometimes it's the player who's bad, and sometimes it's like, well, this character does not have many good options to deal with this thing, or like this is just really a really hard thing, and so you basically have to get a read on like when the person's moving in. And you're
Can we
saying
move back like 5 seconds in this video actually, or like 10 seconds now?
Yeah.
A little bit. Because I want to show off something that's like, it's a pretty unique movement option that is also one of the reasons I love playing this character.
Do you want me to slow it down?
So I get launched here. Yeah, like slow it down like right here. So I kind of double jump like right to this point of the blast zone where you can't really see where I'm going. I'm in a magnifying glass, and this is where I B reverse Shadow Ball, like cancel it instantly. And what that does, it changes my air momentum completely. So when you're in that space though, they usually don't see you move in that direction. I think it also happened in a Sosa set and I didn't catch it. But you can really mix people up when you're landing like that, because they're trying to like run all the way to the other side of the stage because you have a lot of airspeed, and then you just suddenly switch directions and move in the other direction. That was a nice confirm.
All right, yeah,
you have a
no,
long ways to land.
and you actually do have a lot of weird ways to like do momentum changes with Shadow Ball, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of Mewtwo's movement usually comes down to like short movement bursts rather than like dash dancing traditionally or short hopping at people with aerials. It's a lot of like, it's almost kind of like a, I don't really know how to describe it. It's like you mix in short dash chances with your wave dash on the ground, and then in the air use a lot of float cancels like Peach would, or B reverse Shadow Balls to mix up your momentum. There I go again, shooting the Shadow Ball at 0. Should really stop doing that. And I'm sticky, but this is the part where you need to, like, when you're fighting Snake, you need to not worry about if you got stickied, because he wants you to, like, retreat, and so he can throw grenades at you when you're stickied. You just want to, you don't really want to be stupid when you rush him down, but you want to apply enough pressure that he can't really blow up the sticky, and I'm bad again, and roll into a mine.
All right, that now is something you needed to take note of, because that's like 3 or 4 times this set.
Yeah.
You've just, not even in pressure, you've just like rolled back into a mine. But I think, yep.
Well, at this point, he's going to start worrying about up throw, especially right now. I think if I grab him, he'll die.
Even with his heavy...
Like, yeah, because Snake, again, it's not dependent on your weight at all, really.
Exactly.
It's dependent on fall speed. And Snake is kind of like a mid-faller, so he dies at roughly 120. But there...
Down smash.
I forgot why I went for down smash there, but I was like, all right, I think I'll try to spot dodge my grab here. So I kind of just nared into him, and I didn't even hit a shield. So I was like, I don't know if I can get the grab off in time, and if he spot dodges this right now, he might grab me back, and that won't be good. So I go for down smash because it's also pretty safe on shields. It's only like -14. So
With a lot of pushback.
yeah, a lot of pushback. So a lot of characters can't actually punish it. You can't spam it, of course, because the startup's kind of high.
This is the one you wanted to watch, right, Fuzz? You versus Luck?
Luck.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was from Oklahoma Monthly,
All right.
about week and a half ago.
Oh, so this was super recent.
Yeah,
I
this
know
was
you
pretty
said it
recent.
was more recent. I didn't realize you meant like within the last month.
Yeah. So this is
The
gonna be
area
a lot.
You did the nair to grab there, actually. You did nair to pivot grab, too, which is really neat.
Right, the turnaround grab has a much better hitbox for that.
Yeah.
At least when you don't know what side you're going to be on.
So what's the story
And I'm
here?
not super familiar with that.
You are in losers, Luck is in winners. How had the rest of this tournament gone?
So we in winter semis, Dill and I played. Dill's the #1 in Oklahoma, Luigi main, and he 3-0'd me. And it wasn't pretty. It wasn't like okay, it was close. No, it was
A
one
solid
of those
3-0.
enigmas.
Eek.
Yeah, where you're just like, okay, what happened? You got to take some time. So I'm in losers. I beat Jordan. So Matha, Dr. Meeseeks, or Mr. Meeseeks. He has like 8 different names every time he shows up. That was super close game 5. And then I beat Dill in losers finals 3-0 because now it was his turn to be like, what is this character? And then, because Luck had beaten Dill in winners finals with Wolf, actually, in a super, super close Game 5 set. And so here he's going Diddy, because he just doesn't like Diddy Luigi.
Oh, okay. So you don't wolf versus Luigi.
Right.
I guess that's why he has the wolf tag on.
I was about to ask about that.
Switch was in chat. He was just like, my child. He was telling him to go Wolf against me, too. He was just like, I want to see it.
I consider Wolf to be pretty good against me, too, actually. So I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to pull it out. Well, I don't think he was confident against you with his Wolf, so...
Yeah, from what I can tell, it's basically just like an anti-Dill or anti-Luigi thing.
So can I mention
Anyway,
how weird Mewtwo's item game looks? Like, first of all, the fact that he's not actually holding it, but doesn't he have one of the best AGTs in the game?
Glide toss,
He
not
has the best
AGT.
rounded,
Just glide toss.
rounded
Okay.
glide toss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go, like, brawl-esque
You can go-
distances with that move.
Probably about half a Green Hill distance.
Yeah, that's freaking good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say
that was a glide toss.
Yep. I knew it was one of them. I couldn't remember if it was AGT or just glide toss.
Yeah, so
Just-
I feel like it's actually one of those things where if Mewtwo like could pull items himself, it wouldn't actually be that good because your ability to micromanage with items is kind of hard when your glide toss is that big. But when you're using items against someone else and you want to approach with that item, it's so useful. Like you can just intrude upon their zone really fast. It's like Diddy Kong, for instance. Like you want to get in on him, it's like get in on his space, and you can do that with a glide toss banana.
Not that Mewtwo
Right,
was
you
struggling
can
for ways
cross them
to
up.
do burst movement, but
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, just in case.
But now you can do it with an item.
And you have hitboxes on it.
And now it's like you can teleport with your hitbox out. Another
It makes
neat
people
thing you can
saltier
do.
for some reason
Yeah.
when we can use their item like
Better than
distance-wise,
they
much
can,
more
yeah.
effective. Yeah.
I love doing that to people. Yep.
And one other thing you can actually do with items that's also shared with Peach is that if you ever see Melee Peach, when she pulls a turnip, she can float and then use attacks with the item in her hand. And Mewtwo can do the same thing. Although it doesn't really come up in as many matchups because you can't pull items yourself. If you're fighting like Diddy Kong, for instance, again, you can grab his banana and start doing like forward airs and stuff, like hover cancel forward airs that are safe on shield, and then follow up a banana pressure. And it's very frustrating for someone to deal with.
Right.
Now, do you
can
want to
just-
let people know?
You can just hover in air while holding an item. It's really nice.
Now, do you want to let people know how do you do that?
Okay, so, well, you just do your hover cancel aerial with the item in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I've
Kind
had a lot of
like-
people confused about that even in Melee, where they're like, yeah, but I hit the C stick and then I throw. It's like, no, you can float. You can.
Yeah, you have to be floating.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's
it's
the
kind of
key.
like Rob, where even with the gyro, if he's in a boost, then he can still like use his aerials.
Yeah.
Yep. It's more of like
And if
if
he's
your
not-
character's in a special state, then they can use an aerial without the item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice
They're-
grab.
Dude, all three of these games are like he's winning by a decent margin, and then last stock for some reason he either like slips up and I edge guard him, or like some shenanigan occurs. It's really silly. But,
By the way, if you guys are
something I
watching
try
this-
to incorporate.
Sorry, you can go.
What-
I'll talk
something
after.
Something I'm trying to incorporate in this set is on paper this is like a horrible matchup for Diddy once we hold the banana, because we can get a guaranteed grab if we Z drop hover cancel fair like correctly.
Wait, Z drop. Okay, yeah. yeah.
Like TAS. Yeah, TAS, if you Z drop the banana, then hover cancel fair, they cannot put their shield down before they get grabbed. Like it's shenanigans. And that's definitely past that's past probably human level at this point for sure, and definitely past our level as players at the moment. But it's just one of those things like Mewtwo can use items well. It's a good day.
Mhm.
One thing that Luck has beaten me so many times. Like it feels like every time I play him, there's something else that's just like this is stupid. Wah. We're kind of vulnerable to Diddy's side B because we have a tall frame.
Yeah, and Diddy's also one of those characters that has like those safe buttons like I was talking about before, where if he hits your shield, he can kind of just like mess with it a lot. So you don't want to like get him that close to you where he's on the offensive, because your ability to escape his pressure is kind of limited sometimes. And he's fast enough to where he can chase teleport pretty well, especially if he has a banana in his hand.
Right, and he can just play that spacing game a lot better with his speed.
Yeah.
And he has good forward-facing aerials, which helps a lot.
Mm-hmm. One thing he doesn't have going for him, though, is that he doesn't really have a whole lot of kill power, and Mewtwo's one of those characters you kind of want to get rid of as fast as you can, or else he will find a way to kill you. That was an unfortunate reverse on the down B there.
Almost. I didn't remember if I reversed it or not, and I was like, maybe I'll be... No. Oh, well.
You probably could F-tilt it, Casino, but I would probably try to up-air it more, because it's something you could do out of a run or a wave dash faster. Like, if you're running, you can't really F-tilt out of your dash chance, for example, so sometimes he'll like catch you dash chancing with that. I think the best there would be to use
You can use the either brawl pivots or there's a technique you can do to do a upward angled hover, or an upward angled forward tilt out of a dash. You can, if you just roll a stick. Like there's a zone that's actually very easy to like get once you kind of get it down, where you can just get that like turn around pivot forward tilt angled upwards, which is pretty good for side B. For me personally, one of the problems with Diddy's side B is like it demands attention, like in my head.
It's something you have to be like looking out for.
That's something that I think that's another thing about like teleport that makes it really strong. You can get around it, but you either have to be like narrowing it and like playing the game and wasting time with it, or you have to have that like you have to be thinking about it.
Yeah.
Most moments in the set, and that takes a big toll. So one thing I'm trying to do here is either get that forward air punish, like to start a combo when Diddy's at low percent, or just kind of push him to the stage where he can't pull a banana or can't like use one effectively.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Here, I don't really mind getting hit too much with that up air. Like I'll take the hit so long as it's not forward air that sends me off stage.
Yeah, sometimes it's just better to take the hit and acknowledge you kind of lost neutral instead of trying to aggressively land and making the situation worse for yourself. Because Mewtwo can live a long time as long as you don't throw yourself into like haphazard situations. And there's the fair to fair again.
You got
which never
so high on that. Holy crap.
Yeah. Mewtwo's double jump is bigger than Yoshi's.
Yeah, there's a technique you can use with that actually, where in order to make it bigger than Yoshi's, where you double jump and then near the apex of your double jump, you use an aerial. Or you can use a shadow ball cancel, and that
does that,
increases
like,
the height of your.
It keeps your
already big
momentum
double
going?
jump. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
You-
a double jump cancel, but you're moving upwards instead of downwards.
I think if you do it properly, you get an extra like 30% height to your jump, which is
Oh.
already the largest double jump in the game.
And 30%, like that's a sizable amount.
Yeah.
Point out I'm at 204 also, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
This character is hard to kill.
Jeez, and that's
It might
still
be a
like
good time.
It's Diddy.
And then
Got mad at a
220.
banana though.
Like, some characters need like a pretty solid win in neutral, like a good clean hit to kill me too. Like, I died there at 230 something, and we actually checked the percent after this because Luck is kind of annoyed, and he does about 800%. I do about 550 and I win.
Jeez.
Like that's
I
just his
could
character.
see being annoyed at that. Yeah.
That was a proper that was a good reaction to the monkey flip there where you pivot grab it.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, like that time you were ready to deal with it.
Yeah, because it was further away and it's more telegraphed, so
Mhm.
I was more prepared. Like whenever I'm saying like it can be hard to do something with that on reaction, I'm not trying to say that that's incorrect. I'm just saying that I like from my experience with 2D fighting games, I have a hard time unless I'm looking for them, and I think that that's just how the human attention span works for the most part.
Yeah. I think what helped your case there too was that Diddy was on the ledge, so he was kind of pressured into choosing some kind of option. I think that's why you were looking for side B more than usual.
Yeah.
That's
it's
how
like
I always
he's-
thought about it anyway.
He has to get on stage before he can be threatening to me at that area.
Yeah.
Ooh, Nair clip is fair.
The
So,
dash attack is such a
I
funny
want to point out,
move.
Mewtwo dash attack. It's actually a goodish move. It's not horrible. just a
Goodish
bit,
and horrible are two different things.
Fair,
I mean, it's
fair.
definitely not a move that's useless. It has its moments, but I'd say it's a little more niche. Like you can't use it in a traditional sense. Where if you want to move in on someone with a hitbox, you can't use dash attack for that because it's just too slow and they're gonna shield it and grab you or something. But if you use it when you're juggling people, it covers a really large space with its hitbox, and it kind of moves slowly in a way that if they're trying to land, they have to kind of deal with that hitbox, and if they get popped up by it, especially the late hitbox, you can combo off it.
Yeah.
So I think that's why you're calling it a goodish move. Yeah, I can understand why.
The hitbox also lasts a long time.
Yeah.
It's hard to punish if you get one of the last few frames.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it actually only has truly 8 frames of end lag, but how it works usually is that if you shield it, the rest of the hitbox will go away, and then you can get a bigger punish because then he's just kind of moving with no hitbox out.
It's kind of like Game & Watch moves.
Yeah.
Like forward tilt and forward smash technically have no end lag. Like there's no point where it's there's no active hitbox.
Oh, no!
Yeah, that happens 3 times.
Yeah.
Funny at least.
I keep forgetting that spike still exists. That's a spike, right? It's not a meteor.
Is it?
Which one?
I have no idea.
Diddy's up B.
Oh yeah.
Jetpack.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is just me, but I think
have
it's at
no
least
idea.
partially a Mewtwo thing. No, go
Just
ahead.
1 second, guys. It's starting to drop frames, so I'm gonna make this the low definition quality, so things will get a little bit fuzzier on Rabbit, but hopefully that stops eating up bandwidth.
Did you say fuzzier on purpose?
No, I did not. I did not say fuzzier on purpose.
Well,
This
this
is-
friend he did.
All right, hopefully that helps. Hopefully I stop dropping. I'm not sure why. My internet's not amazing.
If you have to put it down further for quality, I don't think that's a big deal. Just because we're watching a video on a stream.
I know,
like, it's-
I know, and
we get the
that's
gist
what
anyway.
I already put it down a little bit, so we're gonna see if it goes even further.
But what were we talking about? It was.
Oh no,
Jeez.
that was really bad on
Oh, yeah.
Luck's part.
Yeah,
I think
I get
kinda
pretty
thought
lucky
he
with
would-
that.
Yeah, I think he thought he would grab the ledge out of the side B, and that's why he didn't up B or anything.
Okay, can you back up to about 1350?
1350.
There's something super important. Yeah, 1350. Luck does something super important at low percent.
We're not at 1350 yet. Are we?
We're at 14.
Whatever.
We're at 13.
Yeah, I said back up to 1350.
Okay.
Okay, so
I might have misspoken. Okay, so he has
Okay,
these here.
He kills
because
himself.
he doesn't grab ledge. And he's gonna get hit by like down throw tech chase fair, or side B tech chase fair, and he's gonna SDI down and tech. That's
Ooh.
so important against Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Like that kills our combo game for like an additional 10-15%.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, so the early percents are generally the percent where Mewtwo is looking the most for weird setups and more committal stuff. Because after that, you can just kind of down tilt and fair, and those are really safe and hard to punish. So until then, though, your approaches are a little more telegraphed, so you have to be careful.
Yeah. But I guess this is more a question for Jake than like a statement. I feel. Do you think it's like harder to meteor cancel with Mewtwo than other characters?
Like,
Because for me, I think it's just me, but I get float a lot, and I feel really stupid.
no, that can happen. Yeah. Depending on if you were holding down or not, but also because. So from a technical standpoint, it's not any different from any other character. But how it also works is that Mewtwo's double jump kind of dips at the beginning, and it's really slow to come out. So it's hard to like notice that you meteor cancel something until kind of late. So you might like panic and throw out like a float or something else, or like hold the button too long, something like that, and that's maybe where the problem stems from. I notice it too. I sometimes have a little bit problems like meteor canceling with him.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's probably just like 80-20, me the character tops.
Yeah,
So,
it's a little awkward.
Actually, when you did say though that like sometimes you just get, yeah, that was actually really sick. I want to go back to that.
I love it when people jump into things.
I would say you did though say that like sometimes you'd get hover instead. Why? Oh yeah, there. Yep.
Because I think like mechanics wise, you're holding jump. Because for almost every other character, like let's say you hit jump early and you hold jump, you just kind of miss. But I think there's like you just don't meteor cancel. There's some weird interaction where I'll meteor cancel and then immediately go into hover, and I'm like my thumb's not on the control stick. So that's either a weird me thing I'm doing, or like some slightly odd interaction with meteor canceling and hover.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that is a thing for Peach.
Well, holding jump out of hit stun, it's exclusive to PM and Brawl, I think, actually. And Smash 4 as well. This doesn't happen in Melee, but if you hold jump out of hit stun, you will float automatically. You don't have to hold down or anything.
I mean,
In Melee, that wouldn't do that. You wouldn't.
I know in Melee if you're
Yeah,
playing
but-
like if you're playing Puff
Yeah,
or
that's why I think.
I'd say I know that in Melee if you're playing like Puff or Kirby and you're just holding up, they'll automatically jump.
Yeah,
as
that
soon as
happens
you
in
can.
this game too.
Yeah, I mean, I know that
Yeah.
still happens here. But
There's a few mechanics. Like for example, Puff can using tap jump buffer. Some stuff's so weird with it. Like Puff can punish Ganon's grounded side B with rest. Kirby, Meta Knight, DDD can do not with rest. They can't do it with rest, obviously.
That sounds
They don't
really
have
funny,
rest.
though.
But yeah, it's stupid. Like it's never gonna happen, but it's
possible.
because
though.
it's Puff Ganon, and then Ganon has to land a grounded side B, not an aerial one. There's something about the state that Ganon's grounded side B puts characters in. You can buffer tap jump out of it. It's very, very strange.
Yeah.
At least with puffballs. I don't know about like Pit or Charizard.
So bringing that back to Mewtwo is where for a lot of characters holding a jump button is kind of meaningless, and like if you do it, it's like whatever, you're still jumping anyway. With Mewtwo, you have to be conscious of if you're holding the button or not, because if you're holding it, you'll get a float, and sometimes if you float for about 10 frames, that's the point where you lose your jump. So you can't double jump and hover in the same air state unless you have not hovered for about 10 frames. It's a little confusing, and I think the reason we put that in was to prevent accidental hover SDs, where you hover for like a split second and end up like dying because you didn't want to do that. You have this like brief buffer window where you can hover for a little bit and then jump.
But if you hover for the full time, then you cannot jump.
Yes.
If you hover for like 9-10 frames, then you lose jump.
Yeah, and if you like are meteor canceling, for example, and you float a little too long accidentally, you don't have your jump anymore, and then you just kind of fall to your death and look dumb.
I am very well versed in looking dumb. I can confirm this man is speaking the truth.
Happens to all of us.
See, like that. Just kidding.
Oh, wait. Like, you gonna make it?
Shadow Ball is really good as an edgeguard tool. Like it's even in the weak one, like you just eliminate an option. The strong
Yeah,
one, you
or
kill them
something
if they go there. Like reward is huge.
It's very reminiscent of like Falco shooting a laser. Just
Just a second. You guys just started cutting out.
kill you. You're gonna die if you get hit by that. Oh.
Can
a
can
stream
you
cutout?
say that again? You just cut out for a second. It's
Oh,
on my side, not yours.
Oh, so what was I saying before?
It was about
Falco
Shadow
laser,
Ball
Shadow
cutting
Ball.
out options.
Oh, right. So sometimes when Falco shoots a laser at you off stage, like sometimes it's okay to get hit by it because it only does like 2%. You're not going to die to the laser. When it comes to Shadow Ball, if that thing is fully charged, you don't want to touch that because you're going to die at like 50 off stage. So you really have to work around that, and that's kind of a problem because you already have to deal with grabbing a ledge through teleport, Mewtwo's back air, which is like one of the longest offstage moves in the game, and then these myriad of other options. Like he has a meteor, it's like the same as Falcon's down air, although you won't really see it that much because usually you have better options.
Mm-hmm.
But you have all these different ways to edge guard people, and they have to like be ready for these. And sometimes their recovery just isn't good enough. Diddy is kind of okay, so but even then you could see like Mewtwo's back air is pretty good. Like Fuzz is properly grabbing him, throwing it back off stage, back airing, and he's dead.
Yep, it's a rinse and repeat.
Yep.
Exactly.
Looking like melee chic.
Yep. All right,
If every character was melee chic,
Fuzz, quick, since we are running low on time.
that was really good. Oh, too bad.
It was almost
Yeah.
really good.
It was almost really good. Yeah.
Yep.
Like he was about to die at 23%, like without SDing, like with me just actually being good. And then I went, wait, I suck. That's right.
Maybe I shouldn't hold
Like, I wanted
ledge.
to jump, and I was like, wait a minute, Diddy's up B goes really far when you don't charge it.
No, like if I hit R, he was dead.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I did not. So what's up?
What I was gonna say was we're starting to run low on time. But was there any specific moments in the second set here that you wanted to go over, or we can let this roll while we're signing off?
I don't. I can't think of anything in particular. No.
Okay. Well, we'll just let it go in the background. Thank you guys so much for being here. Yeah, no, I'm just like super glad that you guys were able to do this.
Our pleasure, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you. Let's just go over it again really quick. We've got Fuzz, Frozen, one last time. Where do you want people to follow you on? Hitbox, Twitch, Twitter, MySpace, like whatever.
So my Twitter is @FS_Frozen. It's kind of like a mix of my PM and Smash 4 stuff now, so you'll kind of see a little bit of both. If you're not really interested in Smash 4, then unfortunately you'll see a little bit of that, but you do see a lot of cool Mewtwo stuff from me sometimes, and I'll be sure to post that.
I have a new Twitter, and I don't understand what the kids are doing these days. So
If you
Found
follow-
it so
like,
hard.
If you follow
I'll
Fuzz,
retweet stuff
it's
for
him learning.
giveaways. Like the Alpha Red Rivals of Excalibur thing. I literally went and made a Twitter just for that because it looked funny.
But now you get to use it.
Yeah, and now I'm going to use it. I'm probably going to dump Giphies on there. It's going to be the Twitter Giphy.
Cool. If you want more
So that's
Mewtwo Giphies, follow.
SU_GS_Fuzz.
Mm-hmm. Any shout-outs that you guys want to do? Anybody? Other Mewtwo's, your crews, whatever?
So Mewtwo Discord, you guys are hella chill, and make it one of my favorite Discords to be in sometimes, because just talk about crazy stuff all the time, or like about the character in general. Free Soul Teens, my crew, you guys are the best, even though I haven't seen you guys in like months. I hope to change that, but I still love you guys, don't worry. And then I got a few of my boys in the chat right now from Staten Island, actually. I live like not too far away from them. They're some of my best friends, so shout outs to you guys, you know who you are. Take it away, Fuzz.
Shout outs to Houston, who I have corrupted with the C-Stick. Shout outs to definitely Greensleeves. That was a stupid up here. Shout outs to Greensleeves, Smash United friends. Definitely the Mewtwo Discord also. Casino Wolf in that chat. Being like, well, I invented teleports though. He's kind of right. Like, there's a thing called casino dashing. It's called casino dashing for a reason.
What is it?
It's where you teleport horizontally to auto cancel like from the ledge to on stage.
Okay.
So like you just and then you teleport immediately back off to where you teleport to like right before and you slide off stage, which means you can then teleport back on stage, etc.
You just keep doing it
It
back
sounds
and forth.
very
yeah.
dumb.
It looks really crazy. Like
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it looks
even
super
for
cool.
me to look at. I was like, wow, this kid is crazy. Casino's definitely like one of the tech gods, I think, of this character.
Yeah, definitely. He's like the not the like the actual practical like high tech person. Like what do you call it? Mavi and Blue 2 are like TAS people who are just like, well, Mavi especially is like, well, you could just auto cancel teleport in TIS and then you win everything.
Yeah, we had a few people like that too.
Casino is definitely one of the. He's definitely one of the like. Yeah, so here's how you actually use that and make it
Like
work
a
and not
practical
look
tech
stupid.
god, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Adding it back thrown again. Yay.
Sick. Yes, we got shout outs. Any, like, if there's one more thing you want to tell anybody about this character, about whatever, what is it? And if you don't have anything, cool. That was stupid.
Yeah. So stop pretending that Mewtwo's recovery is fantastic without a jump, and start learn to snipe jump, or at least be aware when he doesn't have it. It's stupid when I got to put up with people complaining about my character when it's like my recovery is horrible right now. You just don't know that.
Yeah, there's definitely spots where if you're off stage and you don't have your jump, Mewtwo's recovery becomes a lot more linear because he has a really difficult time with sweet spot on the ledge directly if he's below it. Like his range to like sweet spot the ledge without like getting hit by something like from on stage is really difficult. So if you lose your jump, you're kind of in a bad spot. But thankfully, you have a lot of chances to keep your jump, so it's not all bad. The other thing I want to mention is that I didn't really bring this up when I talk about Punish Game and tech that Mewtwo players don't really use that much. But I think footstools in general are kind of underdeveloped in PM. And one really interesting thing you could do with footstools with Mewtwo is something I kind of derived from Avadongo in Smash 4. You can do a hover cancel nair, and then after your nair, instead of grabbing them, which is the usual punish I do, you can do a footstool down air, like hover cancel down air, and that is either if they even block that, it's like +5 on block, so it doesn't even matter if you whiff it on shields. But if you hit it, you get basically a stomp, and stomp, if you're familiar with Falcon, combos into knee. In this case, it combos into fair, which is like knee, but it kills top instead.
Or leads into combos because
or
against
that.
every weight class that exists.
Yeah. There's some
Fair,
characters
bro.
you can do like 4 forward airs against,
Oh,
or
that's,
even more.
that's ridiculous.
And not-
Yeah.
And not just the spacies, like actual like midweights. It's great.
Yeah. I've done it to like Rob. I've done like 5 forward airs in one combo. I was like, yeah, that's okay. I deserve that.
Yeah. Like Rob, Lucario, Marth.
Some of my favorite combo weights actually.
Yeah. Because forward air is so silly, and then up air they don't go super far away if you get the weaker hitbox, so you can just keep doing whatever you want.
There's the
Life is
reverse
good.
hitbox too. It's like you can kind of like mix up
yeah.
their positioning of like a Pikachu style up air, where your up air is like 4 different hitboxes, like
and depending on which
depending
one
on
you
which
get,
side
yeah.
you get. And you can kind of mix up their DI really hard and get some weird follow-ups with that move.
Because if you're
There's also-
hovering under them, then you could go either, let's say they're above you, either to the left and hit them that way, like with your tail, or to the right and hit them with the super late hit, like reverse hit, which
Mhm.
requires completely opposite DI from the left hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it looks like they're just actively trying to not DI, and then they get hit by forward air, and they die at 95, and they get annoyed, and you smile. Like, you know,
At least it ends with smiling.
it's
Yep.
always ends with smiling.
One person is smiling at the end of that set.
All right. So I guess with that, we will sign out. This has been Wisely with Why My Main is Sick Mewtwo, joined by Fuzz and Frozen. Again, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, my man.
Yeah.
This is a thing, and that you invited us here.
You're welcome. It's been really fun to run these. And in 2 weeks, look forward to everyone's favorite astronaut gardener.
Oh, Olimar.
Yep.
I actually don't know much about that character myself, so I'm
No one
interested in
does.
that. Exactly. That's what the whole series is
It's gonna
about,
be really
right?
sad.
Yep.
Mhm.
I know stuff about Olimar, and a lot of it's underwhelming and depressing.
His recovery for sure, but he does have a lot of good damage output and stuff. So I'm interested to hear what the Olimar players have to say about him. As always, you can follow me at @FS_Frozen. You should give Wisely a follow because he does an amazing job with the show. And Fuzz, you should
Thank
follow
you.
because he's also pretty good and he likes to forward smash.
Yep. And Fuzz is new to Twitter, so welcome him.
Yig.
There we
Wait,
go.
We're gonna get. Yeah, there we go.
I wanted to see it once. Let's
All right,
go.
we'll stop recording with that. See you
Even
guys.
the mod decrees that.
Good night, guys.